Attacks across Gaza's hospitals continued on Sunday, with Israel raiding hospitals in the southern city of Khan Yunis. They went into the Al-Amal as well as the Nasser hospital, and Israel said that it struck Hamas infrastructure and killed Hamas fighters at close range. The Palestinian Red Crescent said that they heard heavy and intense shelling in that area. Now, as these raids were going on, Israel was continuing its raid in the north of Gaza in the Al-Shifa hospital. This was its 7th day into this raid. Israel said that Hamas has regrouped there and is using it as a base. They said that since Monday when it began, they've killed more than 170 Hamas fighters and arrested hundreds more. Associated Press reporters spoke on Sunday to some of the people who had fled the raids. They described a week long of shelling as well as mass detentions and people having to walk over dead bodies. One man who was sheltering in the hospital said that there were bulldozers being plowed over ambulances, they were going over cars, and they were also going over bodies of people who had been killed during the raid. Israel has already invaded some of these places. They have attacked places that they are now returning to. And analysts say this just speaks to the resilience of Hamas and the challenges it is in combating them. Now, while these attacks are continuing, the humanitarian situation is becoming more and more catastrophic. On Sunday, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that there needed to be an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. These comments from him came a day after he called the starvation in Gaza a moral outrage. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Palestinians in Gaza desperately need what has been promised, a flood of aid. Not trickles, not drops, but the only efficient and effective way to move heavy goods is by road. It requires an exponential increase in commercial goods. And I repeat, it requires an immediate humanitarian ceasefire.
These comments came right before the United Nations says that Israel informed it that it was no longer going to accept convoys from the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency to take assistance to the north of Gaza. The agency, which is known as UNRWA, Israel has long been railing against it, saying that it is collaborating with Hamas and also that it is perpetuating the decades-long refugee crisis. But UNRWA is the main actor in Gaza, and it is unclear how assistance is going to get to the north of Gaza. There's already very, very little assistance getting in at all, and particularly little assistance getting to the north, where aid groups have warned that there could be an imminent famine. There are some developments, however, that could see a ceasefire and hostage release potentially soon. This is according to people familiar with the talks. On Saturday, CIA Director Bill Burns put forth a new proposal in Doha, where these talks are taking place. It was said to bridge the gaps and address some of these sticking points. Israel agreed to the proposal, and it is now in Hamas's court to make a decision of what they want to do. Sam Mednick with the Associated Press for CGTN in Jerusalem.